Welcome to the first of what I hope will be a number of videos documenting the changes and improvements to Southampton's cycling infrastructure over the coming years. Today I'll be riding from Redbridge Station in the west of the city to Southampton Central Station via the Southampton Cycle Network's Route 1. Britain's road cycling infrastructure has often been seen as inadequate, sometimes comedic, sometimes dangerous, and can lead to the sort of ill feeling between motorists and cyclists that you can see on any newspaper comments thread discussing the issue. Compared to the gold standard of the Netherlands, Britain is decades behind. And if you do have a moment, please do check out the excellent BicycleDutch channel on YouTube to see what we're missing out on. Following on from a number of transport surveys over the past few years, Southampton City Council created a 10-year cycling plan in 2017 aimed at creating a number of key cycling corridors using protected lanes or quietened roads. Some might say this is also down to threats from central government over levels of pollution within the city. The recent completion of the 3rd Avenue section means that Route 1 is now fully open from Central Station to Totton in the west. Though today I'm starting from Redbridge, as the route just west of here is having some major roadworks done at the moment. Here's our first bit of legacy infrastructure along Redbridge Road. Painted lanes along a pavement, which is now quite bumpy and full of cracks. There's also little protection from the 3-lane road other than the occasional raised curb. Looking at Google Maps, it seems relatively new in 2008, but it doesn't look like it's been maintained or resurfaced since. It's better than a lot of the other legacy efforts within Southampton, but it's still not great. Here we come to the first section implemented under the Council's cycle plan, 2nd Avenue. Completed in early 2018, what used to be a 2-way service road is now 1-way for motor vehicles and a 2-way cycleway. The cycleway is protected by raised curbs and wands and has priority over side roads. The first section is a bit bumpy, but given the road is in a similar condition, it was likely just painted over instead of resurfaced. Things are a lot better once we reach this raised and resurfaced section. The wands are still here, and we have priority over traffic leaving the Shell petrol station in the distance. The road markings are a bit confusing here. I see the give-way triangle on the floor and move towards the junction without realising that the cycleway continued to my left. To be fair, this is the first time I've ridden this section of the cycleway. This second section of the cycleway was opened in January 2019, providing a continuous route through to Millbrook Roundabout. Again, cyclists have priority over traffic joining from the side roads. Here we arrive at a pair of toucan crossings on Millbrook Roundabout, crossing the busy freight route on 1st Avenue which heads towards Southampton Docks. Though the second crossing is playing up, note how the button light goes out for no apparent reason. I thought I was doubting my own memories until I played this footage back. First Avenue does have its own segregated cycle path leading to Dock Gate 20, mainly for the benefit of dockyard workers, but I won't be covering that as part of this video. This is 3rd Avenue, the most recent addition to the route having opened in June 2019. From here onwards we have priority all the way to Southampton Central Station. Following the initial shared path, there is a new cyclist and pedestrian priority crossing, denoted by the 2 sets of give-way lines. From what I've seen so far, it looks like motorists are respecting and adhering to it. Following another priority crossing at Manor House Road, we reached a new cycleway section. This has been protected where possible using raised curbs and wands, but with the number of businesses along this route requiring access, it's understandable as to why this has not been done for the entire route. There is ample space throughout, and is clearly marked out along with new signage declaring that cyclists have priority. There's 1 or 2 slightly dipped manhole covers that I tried to avoid, but overall this is a huge improvement on what was here previously. As you can see, now that the number of side roads has reduced, the amount of curbs and wands increases, and past goals were now protected all the way until we rejoin the shared path at Millbrook Point Road. The shared path here has been widened and priority crossing lanes have been painted across the entrances to these freight businesses. Again, an improvement, but the billboard at the end of this road restricts vision when turning onto the shared path on Millbrook Road West. And now we're back to the legacy infrastructure. A kilometre-long shared path to Millbrook Station. It's long, relatively flat, and has generally good visibility, though perhaps negatively for a shared path it does encourage speed, especially when travelling in the other direction. I don't see this changing anytime soon, but I do wonder if it may be possible to reallocate part of the 6-lane road into a 2-way cycle lane should car habits change in the future. I guess it will depend on what sort of impact this cycle network has. Anyway, you've got another minute and a half of this, so go put the kettle on. After Millbrook Station, we have a bit of a climb up Paynes Road and underneath the A33. Then there's a right turn into a new shared pathway up to Millbrook Road East, but a large bush severely reduces the visibility on this turn. The loss of speed makes the gradient of this path a lot more difficult. While I may be able to power up it, other users might find this more difficult. Personally, I would trim that bush back, get rid of the railings on the right hand side on the corner, and increase the curve of the corner to make the turn less awkward. Finally, we have our only on-road section of the route, the Millbrook Road East Quiet Way. This road previously had problems as a rat run to skip traffic on the nearby Waterloo Road. To combat this, the council has created a group of one-way entrances and exits, and put up bollards outside the Key and Anchor pub to split the road into two sections. It's had the desired effect. There are hardly any motor vehicles using this road anymore, and you're more likely to cross the path of a child playing in the street than a car. This is similar to the Netherlands, where bike gates make travelling by bike more convenient than by car when travelling between neighbourhoods. As we go down the final hill towards Central Station, some final thoughts. The UK isn't going to turn into the Netherlands overnight, like Southampton isn't going to turn into Rotterdam in an instant. With council funding having been slashed over the past few years, a considerable amount of the funding for these improvements have come directly from the Department for Transport's Access Funds and Transforming Cities Funds. These initial stages are about correcting previous errors and linking up previously disjointed routes. And for the brand new sections, this does feel like a success. The fact that there's nearly 4 kilometres of uninterrupted priority route from Millbrook Roundabout to Central Station is in itself a very positive step. I feel that this network will be developed in iterative steps. Get the initial routes down in a safe manner, see if ridership increases, and then improve from there. There are some older sections of this route that could definitely do with some rethinking, but I feel they'll be addressed in time. Likewise, the council have also been working on Route 5 heading north from the city centre, which I hope to do a video about over the coming weeks. There will be some big elephants in the room in future, especially the Itchenbridge and Shirley High Street, but 18 months into this 10-year plan, I have hope that this will become something very good indeed. Thank you for watching, now time for me to catch my train.